Hey everybody, this is Ion Smoothie here, and today we're going to be playing some Robocraft with Marshmallow 5093763
50181.
random combination of numbers, Taco, otherwise known as Nathan, and Jaden Walker, better known as Jaden. And
I'm better known as Jaden. I think I'm Jaden both ways.
anyways,
Any way you want it, that's the way you got it.
I'm
Any
going to
way
be
you want it.
playing with
That's the way
them,
you
and it's
need it,
pretty
Jaden.
much the usual thing that we do. We're just going to talk and be complete asses with each other. So, yeah. A couple moons ago, I was trying to convince something that isn't uploaded a lot on this channel, but I've wanted to say on this channel, is I love Team Fortress 2. I love it. I think it's a great game that has a lot of complexity to it in a simple package. And, I figured, why not see if I can get either of these two to play. Nathan will play it sometimes with me.
Yeah,
That is true.
it's another thing with games like that is repetitiveness. Is I get really bored of games really quickly when they're repetitive, and TF2 is very repetitive, unfortunately. My style of game.
You never let me teach you the cool stuff, though.
Well, I know,
you
but
learn all the cool stuff,
the
you
cool
can
stuff
start
is
learning all
freaking
the
hard
cool
to
stuff.
do.
Yes, but then you feel accomplished once you've learned it. But we're not going to be talking about TF2 in this video, other than me trying to convince them to play it with me. But that's just my
Robocraft's
own...
got me totally addicted again because I remade my tier 10.
But that's not what we're going to be talking about in this video. What we're going to be talking about in this video is... Let me take a think on this one. Ow! Jesus, I just hit my foot. What we're going to be talking about in this video is... Do you like games that are... Do you like games that are free to play, but you have to pay money for certain things, and you have to do stuff like that in order to get stuff in the game, special stuff
Okay,
in the game?
it depends on that. Like here,
Let's
we'll put
talk...
it this way: stuff that normal players can't get.
Yes, or stuff that you just have to pay for certain things.
Stuff that
Or-
it has to be something that like normal players can't get, and they also can't get something equivalent to it.
Or if they can get it, you have to get through so many hoops in order to get it. And it's very hard to get.
Yeah, and then it's pointless afterwards because you find out the thing is something better has already come out.
Or
And
when you get
now
said
new hoops to jump through.
when you get said stuff, or some kind of like super box, and
Like-
even when you get some of it after you go through these hoops, it's such a small amount of it, it barely did anything, and you have to go through all those hoops again. So, do you like games but the game is free to play? Or
Okay.
do you like games that you have to pay money for, like $5, $10, $20, but you get the whole game, no microtransactions, don't have to pay for anything?
Typically, Piper, when you pay for a game that's $5, there's still microtransactions.
But just roll with me on this, okay?
Because there's no game I can think of that's like that.
I can think of plenty of games like that, but we're going to skip that right now. That's another debate. I mean, but whatever. We're just going to go... Do you like games that you pay for in the long run, or do you like games that you pay for in the short run?
Alright, so I have a good example here.
So we're going to start with Nathan, then it'll go to me, and then it'll go to Jake.
Okay, so I'm going to explain both sides because I understand both. So Elite Dangerous is a very good example. Elite Dangerous is $60, but there's absolutely no microtransactions. Like, it is impossible to get. So Elite Dangerous, you pay the $60. Everyone plays equivalently. Although there are some like better ways, of course, to get money. Like you can be a miner, you can be a pirate, you can be pretty much anything you really want. Um, or like games like Robocraft where there are microtransactions. Actually, no. Blockade 3D is a really good example for a game that gives you microtransactions, but give you guns that you can't get unless you like get to level 30, and you can't like get to level 30 unless you've played an insane amount of hours on. And I actually got some of the pay guns because I did some of the challenges. Like you have to do like 600 headshots, and since I used the M14 like a crap ton, which was on it like a good fire rate and good damage, it did a decent amount of damage, and I had already gotten the challenge or almost had it already. But there are some games like Robocraft where there are microtransactions, but all it gives you is you can either upgrade yourself through the tiers like faster, or you can get like new decals on your guns, pretty much.
Okay. Is that the end of your little talk on that?
Yeah, so
All right,
But which do you prefer?
I prefer the microtransaction, like the microtransactions that don't give you advantages. Because there are sometimes cases where you like the microtransactions, but sometimes the people who use microtransactions are really bad at the game because of that. So you get the noobs in high tiers, which is what I typically feast on.
Okay. So now I'm gonna go, and then it'll be Jaden. In my opinion, I would rather pay for a game, and then have that be that, and I don't have to pay for it anymore. But sometimes there will come a game
fusion tower.
such as
Your fusion shield is now active.
a game like Team Fortress 2,
Rail tank spotted.
or something that I'll talk about games that you have to pay for, and then you just get the whole game. Let's go with a game such as one that's in my library, like Saints Row.
Your top
Saints
fusion
Row is a
tower
game
has been
in which you pay
captured.
money, $40-$30, something, maybe $20 now, and you buy it, and then you have the whole game, and that's it, and you can just go around slapping people with a giant purple dildo. Why? Because that's just what you do in that game, and that's how it is. You buy it, you get in, and then you have fun. And I like that system better because you don't have to. I don't have to pay people. I don't have to pay someone $30 every time if I want to use
argue
the
this
giant
to make
purple
it more
dildo.
interesting, because
Plasma
there
bomber
are
spotted.
like let's see.
A player has disconnected.
Now, like,
Your
games like Elite
respawn times
Dangerous
have been
are
reduced.
fun and all, and they are nice to not have any transactions. But the problem is the games typically that are like that, you pay so much money for them that you can't afford them in the first place.
Or how about Space Engineers?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's right.
Space-
I'm pulling your own.
Well, because Space Engineers
Your
Piper
left
is a
fusion tower
creative
has been
game, which
captured.
means there are no rules or
No,
anything.
but it counts, and that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about what the game is. We're talking about does it go within our guidelines? And yes, it
Your
does.
team has captured the bottom fusion
So,
tower.
But the
let's-
multiplayer is very
Clock
limited.
cycle booster activated. Plasma bomber spotted.
Well, I'm going to use that as my little thingy. I get the game, and now I can do whatever I so
Your
desire to
bottom
do
fusion
with it.
tower
I can
is
build a
under
giant
attack.
purple dildo if I so desire to.
You can.
So there you go. Or Gmod, a
Although
game
have-
in which you can literally
No,
the
no.
modding community
Gmod,
is so
Gmod
grand.
on multiplayer has lots of microtransactions, which things you can't get, like especially like Dark RP. There is a car that no
I'm
one else
talking
can
about-
get, which is insanely fast and overpowered compared to the rest
But
of the cars
what-
that only the admins can have, and the way you can get admin is pay for it. So
Your
I'm
right
not
fusion
finished
tower is
because-
under attack.
Hold on, I'm talking about when you just get Gmod. When you just get Gmod,
Yeah,
there's
well,
plenty to
single player.
do, and there's the modding, and then if you just go on sandbox servers, you can do whatever the heck you want, and it's a lot of fun, and it's all right there just for you. And if you play single player or sandbox, or if you heck make your own server, then you have all your mods and all these other fun kinds of stuff that you can do, and it's really just a good time.
Alright, so Nathan, I just want to add a little comment here. I have fixed my my rolling problem completely on my tier 10.
Oh, redesign?
No redesign.
So technically, games such
Tier
as
4
that,
Tier 4 fins.
Yeah, there you
can
go.
just go about doing whatever that you want to do. And I like games like that just, any kind of, I just prefer games like, maybe let's even go with Skyrim or anything like that.
$60 game.
Fusion tower is
Like
under
typically
attack.
the games that you pay
Skyrim
for.
is not a $60 game.
Yeah, it is. Like when it first came out, it was $60 because I remember having to pay for it.
We're talking about stuff like right now.
SMG tanks.
I'm talking about my personal experience.
I'm going to have to vacate the talking premises when I'm done with my particular battle that I'm working
Plasma bomber
on, because I have some yard to mow and the weather's nice and I'm probably going to do a big chunk. So I might not be present for the
Your
next
plutonium
episode.
reactor is under attack.
Oh.
And by the weather's nice, I mean it's not so humid that you feel like you're in Satan's sauna.
Are you gonna go and ride bikes?
No, I'm going to mow my yard.
For
Your
fun?
plutonium reactor is under
No,
attack.
because I have to.
Oh. Then why would you even mention the weather being nice?
Because
it means that I'm not going to be horribly suffering.
Oh, you're
Your
not gonna
team
be
has
rushing.
captured the top fusion
I
tower.
guess.
no, he won't be
Clock cycle
sweating to
generator
death mowing
activated.
the lawn.
Your
Yeah.
bottom fusion tower is
I won't
under
have
attack.
to drink 50 Gatorades to
Your
replenish my
plutonium reactor is under
electrolytes.
attack. Plasma tank
Okay.
spotted.
Well,
SMG tank
I
spotted.
guess that means, Jaden, do you want to
Your
do
top
argument,
fusion
and then
tower
I'll
is
finish up
under
with
attack.
Okay,
mine?
so my argument is that PTWs can suck the fun out of games, and I have seen this before.
Sometimes, like on Robocraft, the PTWs are actually more
SMG
fun
tanks
because
spotted.
they're really bad at the game because
Yeah.
they paid to get to higher tiers.
Yes, but that's because this game is well developed. Robocraft is developed by some really smart and nice people who actually know how to keep a game balanced. But if the game is, especially if the PDWs are something that the developers like added later, just to get some more money out of the game, that's gonna suck the fun out of it. Like, I don't know how good of an example this is, but I know that PlanetSide 2, there's
Plasma
just
bomber
some
spotted.
insane amount of
Your
grinding
top
you have to
fusion
do to get
tower
some
is
of
under
the
attack.
some of the weapons and some of the upgrades for
Your
the
right fusion tower
vehicle
Oh
is
yeah, the
under
stuff.
attack.
PTWs in that game suck.
and then the
Plasma
PTWs
bomber
come
spotted.
along with their freaking night vision and the snipers and shit, and you're just like, how?
Plasma bomber spotted.
And that can suck the fun out of a game. Or
Your top fusion tower has been captured.
I'm
no
sure
longer
there's some
have
more
your
examples
clock
I
cycle
can think
generator.
of if you give me a second. But then
Blockade.
there's yeah, blockade PTWs. But then there's games like Robocraft where there is a microtransaction system. It is a free game like PlanetSide 2, but it doesn't take the fun out of the game. It leaves it intact.
Clash of Clans.
Oh god, Clash of Clans. We're not even gonna go there. That's iOS.
Your
iOS
bottom
is
fusion
PTW
tower is
land.
under attack.
Really is. Like you paid for the phone and now you got to pay for more. Cuz Apple wants to suck all your money out of your wallet.
Yeah,
Plasma
but
bomber spotted.
that's not the discussion today. But that
Your
is a good
right
point.
fusion tower is under attack.
Let's see. What else? What else is something? So on Robocraft, you can pay and you can get these fancy decals, and maybe you can move your game forward a little bit, but it doesn't help you in the long run because there's nothing extraordinary that you're getting, and like I mentioned when I first started, the devs have kept the game well balanced so that it's not
A
a
player has
feat of
disconnected. Your
And not to
respawn
mention,
times have been
Robocraft.
reduced.
Robocraft is
PTW.
Yeah, Robocraft isn't trying to suck your money. They're trying to get money for support so they can do more updates and pay their staff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if there was just like a donation, like I didn't get anything out of it, I would probably be more willing, because then I wouldn't get the stupid Galaxy Cash. But I mean, then there's those people who want the Galaxy Cash.
Yeah, like, I don't know, this might just be me, but if it's a game I really like,
I would donate it just.
if it was a game that I was willing to get the PTW stuff for, or the microtransactions, I would probably already be good enough at the game to the point where I didn't need that, and I would just much rather donate out of kindness to the devs because I like their game. And whenever Dante goes out and buys some parts so we can start selling stuff on eBay, which will hopefully eventually happen, we will, or I at least plan to donate a little bit to the devs of my favorite games.
Yeah, that would be nice.
First and foremost being probably Robocraft and War Thunder.
Problem is, you're gonna get Galaxy Cash.
I can just do a donate thing. I'm sure there's a way.
Yeah, I think you can go onto their website and do the PayPal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Bad things happen sometimes with PayPal.
So, I was considering some ideas for some pay-to-win games,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not gonna use Robocraft.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to use mobile games.
Oh
Oh
dear.
yeah, mobile games in general.
And we're going to mainly talk about
Because the games are so
one
crap and
that's
people don't
recently
want
come out. A recent one
Boom Beach.
would probably be... No, not Boom Beach. That one's been a while. Not a year, but a while. We're going to talk about Plants vs. Zombies 2. It is about time.
Oh god.
And this is a game...
Yeah,
The
PC
original
versions
game,
of that game are
We're going to talk about both of them. We're going to talk about Plants vs. Zombies, a $5, maybe $2, I think it's $2 actually, a $2 mobile game that was a lot of fun and took like something that was simple, tower defense, and then made it like really cute with like hand-drawn art and all that kind of fun stuff. And it was just a really creative and fun game that some group of people put their time into. And there was no paying, you just went in, and the only way that you could actually get the stuff was to actually work for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have something like Plants vs. Zombies 2, and everyone was excited about this because they thought it was going to be the same thing, but with like, some new modifications, maybe some updating, just some cool stuff. And then it came out, and it was free.
Uh-oh.
And everyone's instantly like, this is kind of weird, but we'll be cool with it. We're fine. But they didn't suspect anything yet. You get into the game, and the first bad sign is, like all bad pay-to-win games, they start you with the tutorial. And in that tutorial, they give you 100,000 super bucks. And have you ever noticed that in these tutorials where they give you 100,000 super bucks, it's only enough to ever get you through the tutorial? Ever. Yeah. You can never get past the tutorial with those 100,000 super bucks. And Plants vs. Zombies 2 started the same way. And it was that same tutorial, and oh, look at this, you have superpowers and super plants that you have to pay like 5 cents
what they want
in
you to
order
do
to use
is
the stuff.
They start off the game so that way you're like, oh, look,
Yep.
look at this, I got super bucks. Wow, what a generous donation. And then they're like, well, now we're going to take all of it away so that way you want it more.
And like all games with super bucks, you start with the super bucks, and then it's like, well, now you got no super bucks, so yeah, see you later. Tutorial's over, have fun. And in order to get any of those cool superpowers for your plants, you gotta pay, like, you gotta either go through all the hoops, and you gotta get some more fertilizer or whatever it is that's really difficult to come by. Now, I've checked the statistics. It's like 10% or lower that a zombie or whatever is actually going to drop your stuff that you need. And it's like so low, so you have to get super bucks. And, you know, it's just a bad time. And in order to get some of the plants that you want, unlike in Plants vs. Zombies, in Plants vs. Zombies 2, it's about time, you have to pay for them. You can't even get them by playing the game. And there's very few characters that you can actually get by playing the game. And most of the characters, in order to get them, you have to buy them. And that pretty much sums up my whole argument. Because you can put that to almost any pay-to-win. Almost any pay-to-win. Even on ones on computer, or just a lot of free-to-play games are like that. And Robocraft, I'm not gonna say it about that because it is truly a free-to-play game. It is free.
Yeah, there's nothing you can't get.
It is, in my opinion, a 100% free game. And that's the whole thing about free-to-play games. They are free to play, but they are not free to win. And that is the sad truth about most free-to-play games. And that is why I generally like paying money for my games and not playing free-to-play games. So that about sums up my argument. That's about the end of this video. Choose your own decision. Like usual at the end of my video, I'm going to say there's a little bit of a thingy going on where you can do your little poll. So feel free to do that. And yeah, this is where we're going to end the video. Jaden's probably going out and mowing his lawn.
Not yet. I have to go destroy the enemy plutonium reactor. But I am going to say, be sure to tell us your favorite PTW story down there in the comment section.
If you have one. And you know what? If you like PTW
or your least
games,
favorite.
If you like PTW games, you know what? Go ahead and tell us why. And you probably stole your mom's credit card, and that's probably why you like them. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me being subjective. So that's where I'm going to end this video. So thank you all for watching. Nathan, you want to say goodbye?
Bye.
Jaden?
Goodbye, guys. Have a nice day.
And when you're all going to the ear doctor, tell them Jaden sent you. Stay smooth, guys. Bye.
I guess.